We're going to welcome this afternoon Iban Sales, Dani, Rita Sales, who are collaborators of the project we've been working on in Paris, who have come from the Huni Kuin people in Acre, in Brazil. And we're a bit late starting because we've realized that the panel is called Translating and Transmitting, but the whole question of translation has just been brought to us very materially in the form of these speakers, and a question about Iban is going to be speaking from the language of Nishipe to Hachakwin, and from there to Portuguese, and I hope you'll be getting some version of this in Spanish or in English when they're speaking. So this is an experiment in translation that we didn't realize was going to be what was going on. So it's a huge honor for me to introduce Iban and his daughter Dani here today for this panel called, is the title page? There should be a first. If you could launch the PowerPoint. Can you hear me up there? There's a PowerPoint that should be coming on. The title of the panel is Translating and Transmitting the Spirit of the Forest. And so Iban Sales is the son of a man called Chanatuin, who is the keeper of the songs. Chanatuin received an enormous corpus. Thank you. An enormous corpus of songs in his language, which is Hachakwin, the language of the Huni Kuin, that come to accompany the Nishipe ritual, the ritual of ayahuasca for the Huni Kuin people. So these songs that Chanatuin received were kept alive in a hidden form because this was a period of colonization. The rubber tapping industry was prohibiting indigenous people from using their medicine and practicing their ritual. But Chanatuin and several people kept the tradition alive, hidden. It was dissimulated because it was forbidden. Well into the 1980s, so very recently. In the 1990s, Iba did graduate level training in bilingual education and produced a very important master's thesis, translating into written form for the first time in Hachakwin several hundred sacred songs that his father had transmitted to him. So when people began to ask Iban to translate those songs into Portuguese, this is a third translation, first into written language, second into a written indigenous language, second into Portuguese, he realized that it was just completely impossible to translate any further. So he began to paint the songs instead. These songs are like complex mythological poetry, in a form in which the subject is at once the one who sings, the one who is sung to, and the one who is sung about, Yube, the anaconda. So I will now pass over first to Rita Dani Sales, who is the daughter of Iban, and who has founded a group called Kayachibu, and she's going to talk to us about the work that they're doing as a youth organization to raise the consciousness of youth around the questions of the Huni Kuin language and ritual, and the importance of Nishipe to them. And then Iban will speak. Thank you. Olá, como você quiser. Acho que eu vou falar aqui.
Boa tarde. Primeiramente, quero aqui agradecer.
Good afternoon. First of all, I would like to thank you for having gathered us here. And I'm going to try and summarize the history of the Huni Kuin people. My name is Rita Sales. I come from the Acre state in Brazil, and I'm happy to be here with you and to be able to share this knowledge and this history we pass on generation to generation from ancient times. And as a woman, I'm also happy to be able to convey this. At the same time, I'm learning and taking in new knowledge. First, it wasn't easy to get here. It was 10 hours on a plane from Brazil. And well, there's something significant that has brought us together, something sacred from the indigenous peoples, the ayahuasca, a sacred drink, a millenary drink that has been passed on over the generations, that was kept in secret for a long time. And over time, it has emerged so that everyone can know what it is. Not everyone knows what it is, but you know here what I'm talking about. Only those who drink ayahuasca know what it is, because in order to explain from a human point of view, it is difficult. But we know when we drink it, when we take it, and when we look for it, and the people that are doing this work know that. So if we are here in this place talking about this sacred medicine, this millenary medicine, it is because we have been united, we have been brought together, not just here in Europe, but it is also because it is bringing together people in the world, and it is important for everyone to know it. I've heard many people talking about this plant, and I, as an indigenous person, I can say it is part of our culture, it is our drink. It is our sacred drink, and I want to share it with you. And I hope this encounter goes beyond this, and that new generations can follow up on this, and that maybe we won't be able to get to where we want, but new generations will make it better and better with every new gathering. And and each one of you can feel in your hearts, can get to know this medicine, because we only know what our spirit allows us to. We can't do things by force. You really need to feel it in your soul, in your heart, in order to know what we're talking about. When we talk about ayahuasca, we have to try it, we have to drink it. So we, the indigenous people, in the past, we didn't have much contact with ayahuasca, with women, I mean. The men were the ones that drank ayahuasca, but things have changed now, and women now have the opportunity, the freedom to drink and feel and share together with the men. And that is important. Because, as I said, it was kept a secret for a long time. And today, it wasn't us that brought ayahuasca here. It was the other way around. Ayahuasca brought us here. And that's meaningful. And even if I spoke for a whole day, I wouldn't be able to convey all that is true. So I would like to make a call so that you can come to the jungle, know it firsthand, know the history of ayahuasca, know where it came from. And by doing that, and then through this, which is, as I said, passed on through generations, much of this knowledge could be fading away because we have no contact with technology, and there's many music and stories that may have faded away because there's chants and stories from our grandparents and so on and so forth we need to preserve. And I, as a woman, I started to study the research of my father, what he researched about his own father, and now we have Agribund in Jordao. It is a group that we created with the aim of appealing to more young people to find out and share together. And today I am honored to be here sharing this time with you because this is the most sacred things for us. This is what the most sacred thing for us. In the world know about ayahuasca. There's people in Europe who know what ayahuasca is and they drink it and they place a lot of importance on it, both for indigenous peoples and non-indigenous peoples, and exchanging this information and exchanging this knowledge is really important. And also each one of you should be free to feel this call, and I would like to express my gratitude on each and every one of your hearts because this is an important time, and I honestly hope this is just one more gathering and that the next one will be even better and that more people have the chance to get to know it and that they have other opportunities to see and to participate. And this struggle goes on, it will never stop. It will grow bigger and bigger, this spirituality. And people against it, people who recognize that they will also need to they will also maybe recognize they can try ayahuasca so that they know what we're talking about. So that's it. Thank you very much.
É boa noite, já tarde? Como é que é? Hora dele? Acho bom. Começar? Pode começar.
Slides again. Next slide, if it's possible. Can we have the slide change? Oh, thank you. Sorry. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Ok, tá pronto o slide, você pode falar. Muita tecnologia, né? Aqui aparece que tá aqui atrás.
Começar, né? House. Primeiro, agradecemos, boa tarde para todos de vocês.
Good afternoon for everyone. I'd like to thank Emilia, my daughter Rita, my dear brother from Brazil. We'd like to thank for this space, which is really inspiring. So we want to thank our house. We are all here. We are 100% in good health, talking about processes of the spirituality of ayahuasca, and that's what brings us together here. So I am Huni Kuin. I come from a community up the river Jordao, and I have lived in this land speak in my language, and I bring here to you the spirit of the jungle in the planet that lives within us. I come from the spirit of the jungle, the oldest language in the tradition. It is a language that has been spoken for millions of years, and this is the Huni Kuin tradition. It is a great pleasure for us to discuss with you this story and this experience we are dreaming. And we speak the language of the spirit called Nishipal. My language is Nishipal, which translated would be that who is looking at us and that we're following together. So I'm really grateful that we are discussing here and that we get together in this significant work on processes, and this drink is sacred, and but we should be careful with it. I brought with me this myth of music.
Yeah.
Iban is
Yeah, I'm
saying,
sorry
but so you
because-
just have to bear with the fact that we have a question of translation at work, and that's very interesting. So you're hearing a version.
I would like
of
to
this.
speak with the translator, please. You can come here.
A gente tem pouco tempo para fazer isso. Então é melhor ouvir
So
Iban.
I can do directly. Yeah.
What does the Eu acho que a gente não pode perder tempo de ouvir Iban. Então,
Deixa eu falar português.
fala aí, Dani.
House.
Deixa aí, Kate, deixa.
So, gentleman sound.
Falar espírito da ayahuasca, você sabe bem disso também, frio, né? Uma coisa, miração. É assim que vivo mirar. Não mirar, eu estou mirando de vocês. Você de lá mirando em mim. Eu entro com a música, uma música que chama Abertura Yubu Nawa Aimbu. Bota a foto, Yubu Nawa Aimbu. Vamos falar isso. É minha cultura essa, ligada com o povo, com encanto e mais encanto. A língua da jibolia, que nós vamos ouvir agora. Yobedawa aibu Yobanawa aibu Yobenawa aibu Baho amana Baho amana Bakabara nabuma Toa ebiranimu Hoshoburu mamaki Paho amana House. Então, a minha tradução hoje, a língua...
So my translation today into the language of ayahuasca is like hugging the boa snake. This is the myth that comes out of this drink. This drink is a very serious one. And this drink needs to save the jungle and the ayahuasca. Is the only one that can follow our dreams. It keeps communicating this reality with the spirit, and we trust in this very sacred drink. And we're talking about knowledge here. The Huni Kuin, and not just the Huni Kuin, but the whole people is using this. We are seeing how the secret has the letters and the tongue, and we know what it means, and it has a meaning. And I see the boa in the village hugging the granddaughter, and we are in this process, and we're going to take care of this treasure and the knowledge of the sacred drink that I am sharing in the formation I brought from my language, which is alive today. We start a new century and we bring more information, and we need to take care of the place where the ayahuasca lives, this planet, today. And there's a lot of policies, there's a lot of fear politics around ayahuasca, and we need to be careful. And I've gone very far to connect with you together with this spirit, and I wanted the answer and the security that our heart will take care of our planet and of ayahuasca. And I wanted to bring this news, to bring the admiration in the translation of a painting. And as a translation, language acquires meaning, and we feel that the spirit becomes spirit in our language. And this is what I am doing with this holy drink with you, with this tea, with this chai, say chai. An older language, a sacred language, friend, cousin, brother-in-law, that lives within us. So the invention of this drink, we have the right to keep this within us, and it came from afar, and now we have to bring it all together. It is time to join in, because we are the ones who know about ayahuasca, and therefore you know too. Whoever doesn't know about ayahuasca, I don't know how to say this, but they are linked. It is linked to this planet, to the other side of the world. It is endless. There's no way to explain it. This is why when we use the word to try and explain it, we try with the strokes of a painting, the movement of the spirit, where I work and paint. As you can see here, the strokes of the boa and the person and the object. This is the music translated, and you're going to be listening to this music. So if you're looking at it, you will understand better. This is called admiration. And today I bring to you the experience within ayahuasca of my music that ayahuasca left in the culture of the Huni Kuin. This is the only thing we have. We can talk about it, but at the same time, this knowledge of ayahuasca, it's not just ayahuasca. There's also the jungle, the herbs of the sacred drink. And then there are diseases that are never going to be found out, and this is why this drink makes us one with the knowledge, and we can take care of it. The knowledge that we have from the drink, I have this drink, I have this idol that came from inside of myself. I have my myths, and I drank the drink once, and I'm going to turn into ayahuasca as well. That's my proposal. We are looking together for the spirit, and I work with the sacred drink, and we can take rapé, for instance, but we have to respect it. You have to be very careful in things related to the spirit. But to cooperate, it is difficult. 6 years ago to cure, and it weighs on ayahuasca. And there's no prohibition against this. It's just about keeping it up and drinking the herb, avoiding pharmacological aspects, because today we are seeing our planet that is sick. And who's the planet? We are the ones living on this planet. We are not taking care of it. And this is what we're seeing. The oldest tongue. And why did I do this movement like this? Not to forget my tongue. I don't have a memory. We are recording it. And this time we have a difficult knowledge to learn the language that makes it easier for the
Eu acredito que segurar nosso coração no planeta. Cada vez mais nós estamos crescendo, cada vez mais nós estamos poluindo o nosso mundo por gerações. Hoje eu estou trazendo 409 músicas espíritas. A prática tem 267 versos de encantos em na frente de vocês. O que me encanta, o que eu me cura, o que me recebe mensagem. Eu me antes de chegar.
Would you like translation? So, I'm going to give a little.
Mora. Quer fazer inglês?
É bom resumir o que ele falou. 3 minutos.
Apologies, we are having technical issues. Our technicians are trying to fix it.
yeah.
Excellent, thank you. But it should work. now, really, hopefully.
Minutos de resumo do que falou, para quem não recebeu, em inglês, por favor.
Funciona?
Yes, I believe the translation is ready now. Yes, translation is ready.
Chai poya chai pa mười yana bơi mơ ni ni ani ani đi đi chai poya chai pa mười yana bơi mơ ni ni ani ani đi đi ani ani đi đi ani ani đi 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 về cha bông poya ne mai kere bơ sota tông hồ khi ra khani ni ni ani ani đi 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 về cha bông poya ne mai kere bơ sota tông hồ khi ra khani ni ni ani ani đi đi ani ani đi đi ani ani đi đi ani ani đi 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 Kumane wa chera bơ ne kamata ni ni ani ani ni ni kumane wa chera bơ ne kamata ni ni ani ani ni ni ani ani ni ni ani ani ni ni ani ani ni 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 Shompai ko shani bo mai kere bơ sota tong ho khira khani ni ni ani ani ni 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 Shompai ko shani bo mai kere bơ sota tong ho khira khani ni ni ani ani ni ni ani ani ni ni ani ani ni ni ani ani ni 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 House. Muito obrigado.
So we have 10 minutes
Thank you.
translation issues any further. Maybe we can take questions from the room, from the floor. If people have questions, and we can try and translate from here, because Iban has a very fast pace, and it's not going to be possible to keep up word for word. Sorry about this. So, are there any questions? Would anybody like to respond in any way to this, to what you've just seen? And then maybe Iban can respond to that. Ou se você tiver outra coisa que você tiver que falar, porque foi interrompida pela questão da...
Isso, aí a gente faz a tradução, né?
É.
A gente faz aqui direto.
Sim.
Aí você faz mais um.
Anybody move to speak?
House.
Yes.
There is one. Apareceu. Quando aparece um, vai aparecer vários.
Estamos aqui no push.
Hi. Okay, this is embarrassing because I didn't know how to phrase my question, but no one else was asking a question, so I thought I might as well. I'm interested in knowing how we could, I want to say, facilitate or spread or help give strength to the spirit of nature and ayahuasca in our own way, being a society that is very detached from. Thank you.
House. É bom cultivar.
It's good cultivating.
It's good to cultivate.
Well, the idea would be to grow and incentivize, promote the drink, the brew, ayahuasca.
Nishipa is the Hacha Queen word for ayahuasca. So when he says Nishipa, he's saying ayahuasca.
A minha língua Nishipa, Nishi é fio, Pa é encantos.
So Nishi é?
Nishi is a liana, cipó.
Pa é encanto.
Pan is chanter.
To be enchanted.
Então, para ajudar não, para nós incentivar, para desse planeta, essa luz, tem terreno e cuidar só isso mesmo, para plantar, cuidar, zelar.
So with care, he's saying by planting and giving care to the
Para nós todos plantando, fica muito feliz.
planting is the answer to your
Stay
question.
happy.
Thank you. Obrigado.
Yes, please. Oh, sorry. Okay. Yes, please.
I'd like to ask this recent, apparently, women now are allowed in the ceremony, but before they weren't. Like, is it a result of demand from women? Where the initiative came from? Was it pressure from the part of women, or did the men just decided to allow them? Who decided and who took the initiative to
I've translated
stop?
your question. Thank you. Como surgiu o fato das mulheres beberem? É você que sabe isso.
Bom, eu não posso falar por todas, né? Mas eu posso.
Well, I cannot speak for everybody, but speaking for myself, when I was a baby, with ayahuasca, you see, I began to feel the freedom to know. And from then on, from when I felt that I wanted to drink, I wanted to know, well, this is also a very personal choice, of course, and a very personal moment, because that's the moment when you should really go into that and go and work on that. That's a very important moment, both for men and women. I think that nowadays there's a lot of women working in this, and they work together. And it is an increasing phenomenon, and this is being passed on to other women. If I may add to what my daughter is saying, women used to work together like we do now, and after the rubber tapping activities, well, things began to change. Now we do things in a different way. Now most of our planet is healing. It's not that there is a liberation or anything, it's just that they've got the possibility to do it. That's when women came about. They used to just cook and stay in the kitchen and do other activities. Things have changed a little.
It seems that some people don't have psychological, emotional, or spiritual effects after many ceremonies. I'm wondering if you can comment on what might be the cause of that.
Where? Where are you asking your question from?
If you're doing ceremony but you're not getting visions or knowings or emotional stuff coming up in ceremony, what could be blocks or causes of that happening?
Ela quer saber o que por que ela tem admiração quando bebe? He's going to answer.
Depois da cerimônia, você começa.
After a ceremony, well, you see, at the beginning, you must go through a kind of dieting. You mustn't eat sweets, you mustn't eat copious meals. You've got to remember that, our traditional meal is light, so
If things aren't right, then it's because those prescriptions are not being followed, probably.
Para mais guardar mesmo.
So if people don't take baths they will not feel the right power.
To a close. Thank you for being here, and thank you everyone. Thank you, Dani. Thank you, Yvonne. And